So there are three things that have allowed me to get through what has probably been the worst year for me mentally since leaving the military. And not a lot of coaches will share what I'm going to share with you now, but I think it's important for you to hear. Let's get into this. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Borman. And if you are coming through, then please do let me know. In a form of leaving a love heart or commenting and just saying good morning, or just let me know if this video resonates with you. And then please do share it. We're going to try and get as many men watching this as possible. It's important for the development. So this is going to be the last show, guys. Not ever, but for a week. I'm on holiday next week. Not going anywhere. Just turning this phone off, computer off, and just chilling with the family. It's got to that point where I've reached my threshold and I need to recharge the batteries. But I wanted to do this video as a reflection / eye-opener for you. This year has been a very, very tough year for me mentally to deal with. Okay, nothing in particular, just trials and tribulations of running a business, dealing with the constant pressures, etc. that we deal with, moving into a new house, having a baby 4 weeks later, and adjusting to that as well as everything else. And, you know, I put myself under a lot of pressure. I think as human beings and men, we put ourselves under a lot of pressure if we're willing to try and thrive and survive and be successful and ambitious. It's like the constant battle of keeping yourself level and managing those expectations. But it's been a long year. It's been a long, long year. And I, for one, will be happy to see the end of this year. But it has taught me an awful lot about me. And the reason that I want to share this with you is because I think sometimes a lot of people will say, oh, you got yourself squared away, you know what you're doing, you got yourself conditioned. And I do, but it's not always true. It's not always a true reflection or a fair reflection of probably, you know, of where I am all the time, you know. And I think it's important for you to know that it's not all Disneyland sometimes. Because a lot of you guys watch me, and I think it's important for you to know that, listen, everybody struggles. Not everyone will share their struggles. Not everyone will tell you what I'm telling you. But I think it's important for you to hear it. I'm human, just like you. You know, I feel that I am very well, very strong mentally and emotionally. And if I wasn't, I think this year could have gone a completely different way. Could have ended up car crashing into the end of it. But there are three things that got me through it. Three things that have helped me maintain that mental resilience, that fight back, staying in the fight every single day, getting up every single morning when I'm meant to be, doing the things that I'm meant to be doing, even though I'm not emotionally connected to it at the time, and feeling quite drained and exhausted, okay? And the things that got me out of my own pity mentality, because we all fall into the pity mentality. Like the immediate reaction to something not going your way is to feel sorry for yourself. Okay? And everybody will feel it. Not everyone will admit it, but it's how quickly you can get out of it. And these three things are really the things that have helped. And now the first thing, in this order, and this is what I do here, right? When I'm doing these morning shows, this is what I'm doing. This is the process. First thing is gratitude. 2 arms, 2 legs, I'm breathing. I haven't been diagnosed with anything yet. And I'm living and healthy and breathing. I've got 4 amazing children, got a roof over my head, and I've worked hard to create the life that I'm in right now. Gratitude. I get to see the stars every single morning here. I get to walk down this promenade and listen to the sea. Gratitude is the thing that brings me back. It's my anchor, okay? So when I start like drifting into that, oh, pity, life's really hard. Of course it's hard. Here's all the good things going on with it. That's my number one step, is gratitude. You know, really appreciating and feeling honoured about where I am. I've worked hard to get here. I've grafted since I've left the military to be here. And it's been hard to get to this point, but I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful I'm alive. I'm grateful that I've got my family around me. That then leads to the second thing, which is perspective. Perspective about the bigger picture. Perspective about what I'm trying to achieve. Perspective about where I've come from to where I am. Perspective about the pressure and expectations that I put on myself. It just raises the self-awareness. The gratitude raises the self-awareness for me. And then I'm walking down this promenade here, and I usually do the first half of the walk where it's a lot of gratitude, processing, and really understanding the vision. Then the next thing, number 3, which is the last thing, is knowing what my mission is. Remembering that mission. Remembering that one bad day doesn't equate to one bad week. One bad week does not equate to one bad month. And despite it being one of the worst years ever, I don't think it's ever been more than a run of 2 days where I've struggled, where I've not been able to bring myself out. With the support of 2 people, my best mate Phil, who's also my mentor, and then my other best mate, who's my partner, Jemima. And when I've hit those rock bottoms, they've lifted me up and brought me up, and I've been able to get out of it. And we will always fall into that space, guys. But it's how quickly we can turn that around. How quickly can we flip it? How quickly can we get ourselves in the right state of mind to crack on and move forwards? Because life will never change. It won't get any easier. We might have a small window where things are running smoothly, where life is smooth, where everything's good, and then bang, something else here. Which is why this needs to be trained. It's why you need to have routine, structure, habits, systems, all of those things in place to make sure that you are keeping on top of your game. Let's go. Morning. How you doing? All right? Yeah, good. And making sure that you're doing all of those things to make sure you're on top of your game. Because if you don't do those things, that's where you sink. And that's when I work with loads of guys and I see them sinking because they're not practicing. They're not training for life. You know, they're procrastinating, making excuses. And that's the alternative. And in theory, that's a 4th thing, is like, what is the alternative to not showing up? What is the alternative to not doing anything about it? Not spending time fighting back, not being mental resilient. I've had to show more resilience this year than ever. And that will set me up probably for the rest of my life. And I want to share that with you. Just because I feel like you need to know that. It's not always sunshine and rainbows in Disneyland. Listen, I really appreciate everyone's support over the last year and a half, however long we've been running Man Coach, 3-4 years. It's been a great journey. I feel like I'm sounding like it's the end, but it's just the beginning. I'm going to be back on the first week in November. I hope you have a great half term with the kids. Drink plenty of gin. Enjoy yourself with the kids. Don't forget to prioritise you. I've scheduled posts to keep you going in the mornings. The 5-day challenge is open. When I join that, we go 8th of November. Links on this post. Appreciate you all. Love you all. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves and see you soon.